So this is the 3300RD. Is that the same as the other one?
I'll go check.
64949? 30.
This is 3100 RL.
3100. So this is the 33. We looked at the 31, so 3300RD. Again, 4-season rated, which is awesome. Asdel siding. Wow, see, look at this, guys. This is beautiful.
This is nice, yeah.
First impression walking in is it's a wow, right? It's simple, well appointed. It's not over the top. Remember we talk about sofas folding out? This is actually what one looks like folded out, okay? So imagine with both of them folded out, they basically would be touching here in the middle. And so you've got the party bed. I mean, it goes from side to side. So this is not a front living, it's a rear living. So you have 2 opposing love seats, right? Again, this is a love seat, it's just down in its bed configuration. 2 theater chairs, which are manual. And up front, you do have your TV, which looks to be about a 50. Your entertainment center room's there. Fireplace, which is on right now, so I thank them very much. And up above, cabinetry all the way around. I'll open them for you so you can see. But it's not incredibly deep, but you can store some things in there. But what's also nice is you can reach it.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, this is, again, called the mid-profile. So it's slanted and it also slants in the front. So that's also how you're saving weight. As we turn around here, you have that same adjustable shelf in your pantry. Solid wood shelves.
Very nice.
Okay? Then we get into the kitchen. Your stove is here. The kitchen's broken up a little bit, okay? Because your dinette is over here, right? And your dinette's also on a track. There's a pull right here, Lisa. Okay? So it can either be all the way up here, sort of against the wall, and maybe the 2 of you sit here. I think it also pulls out. It does pull out. I just don't know what I'm doing yet with it. Is it both sides? Hang on. Come on. It's always when we're live.
Always.
It should. I don't know. I promise you it pulls out. I can see the mechanism.
You just can't find the lever.
I just can't figure out how to do it. Okay. Anyway, because you'd pull it out to seat 4.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that it moves. So you can have it tucked in when you're not using it.
Uh-huh.
Right? So it gives you more space.
And there's an ottoman that has been moved out to the living that I bet you could bring that in.
Sort of. Doesn't it pull out?
It here.
Okay, show me how. I've been wrestling with the darn thing.
Actually, that's the end.
Oh, that's the end. I already had it all the way out.
Okay.
Now, when it slides much smoother on the end and much nicer on the out.
Yeah, because I'm like, I know it comes out. I can see the mechanism. I'm like, I didn't realize it was already out.
We got a little beat up here at the show.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, people are
People
rough.
are just not rough. That's why I don't like to tug and pull.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know it does it, but I don't want to break it.
You can configure it with 2 chairs and the ottoman here.
Yep.
We're kind of fine. And for the show, we set it up like this because we like the ottoman back there so we can show it off a little bit better.
Something for the future.
Yep.
Put another piece of wood underneath.
Okay. Easy.
Like these, those are amazing.
Those are
That's
nice and
great. Solid wood.
Yeah.
But you put some stuff in there, it's pretty flexible.
We're full timers,
Just,
and so we put a lot of
What do you guys
weight
full-time
in
in?
things.
You don't want to know.
Yeah,
You'd be
you
upset.
Okay.
We have a Grand Design.
Oh, very nice.
We had a 28BH. We literally just a couple months ago got a 321BH, just upgraded to a bigger size. So we went from a 30-foot to a 37-foot.
Great.
It's a tow behind.
Yeah.
I got an F350 dually, so I could get whatever I want. It was more of an emergency purchase.
Okay.
We won't go into details live on the camera, but we bought it from a family dealership that was able to augment it the way that we needed it, which is something that we found hard. Being tall, we've got some challenges. We need 2 unique sleep areas that sleep adults,
Yes.
not kids.
Yes.
And so they took on the 321BH, it's got the L bunks in the back. They took the bottom one and they made it a full-size bed for a residential size mattress.
That's cool.
Reinforced the cabinets a little bit. I mean, they did a few things for us.
Cool.
So that was nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But we're always on the haul. We got the big truck to upgrade to a 5th wheel. And it's funny, you weren't in there and we were giving you props. We were just saying, now I'm not saying this because Mark's not in it. And just, you know, we tell the truth. Very stunning walking in here.
Great.
It's not over the top.
Yeah.
It's not like crappy, right?
Yeah.
Either.
Yes.
Right? Not, how do I want to say it? Not high-end finishes, but luxurious type finishes.
Comfortable.
Right?
So,
It's very comfortable, right? And a great price point.
yeah, and that's you know, so here we have some core construction principles we believe in, right? Like we do plywood decking on the floor, we do plywood decking on the roof, we do asphalt composites in our wall.
Yep.
We're a big believer in Goodyear tires, Dexter axles, and Moride suspension. We've just for the 2024 model year gone to the new Alpha Ply roof with the lifetime warranty. It's got the moisture cure sealant on it.
Keep on talking.
I would tell you that as you get an opportunity, because here with the Blackthorn and our Mid Pro, you know, we're being a little bit more weight sensitive. Totally embrace the feedback on the drawers. So one thing, as you guys make your way through the show, if you do make your way to that other display, the Yahara, please take a look at the drawers we implemented in that in the Dakota, because we are using real furniture quality drawers in that. We're still kind of refining the weight because our weight went up quite a bit. So we're, you know, some floor plans that used to weigh 14.5 are weighing closer to 15,000 on those now. But we went just as deluxe as we could on the cabinets and the wood and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we get, you know, that we're talking about light series, and you know, you gotta cut where you can, and that's why he said just put like the strips
brace, right?
underneath
Yeah,
it.
just
It
a
gives
little
it the
strip.
support that it needs, and it doesn't add a whole lot of weight.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about things, I will say, Lisa T said, FYI, no toe stubber slide outs. That's a deal breaker for her in the Ahara. And she's
The
talking
Ahara,
about.
The 2024 Ahara has a flush floor kitchen slide.
Okay.
We've gotten a ton of feedback to switch our Air and Blackthorn to the flush floor kitchen slides. So that'll be something we work on for the 2025 model.
All right, so there you go, Lisa. If you like that Ahara, that is something they're working on.
If you've looked at a 2022 or 2023 Ahara, we made no less than 50 updates to the 2024 Ahara, with the big ones being flush floor kitchen slide, the PVC marine grade flooring that we've used in our fifth wheels for the first 3 years. We've gone to the vinyl flooring and the slide outs. Took us a while to kind of perfect that design, but we feel real good about it. In the Ahara, we also went from 3 13.5 air conditioners to 3 15,000 B2 air conditioners. We went from the non-ducted to the ducted air conditioners. We upgraded the drawer boxes, went to soft close cabinet doors. So we went to wood trim around the windows, went to frameless windows, new graphics package. So that was a product that we really kind of updated in a big way.
We'll definitely get over there this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not sure we'll be able to walk there during this stream, but we stream in the morning and we stream in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We would stream constant, but the phone eventually dies.
Yeah.
We go until the phone falls off the gimbal.
And so here, since we're in the Blackthorn, I will kind of point out a couple of things that I think are advantages in this category. We do the seamless fiberglass shower in our larger series. We go to the plastic shower in our half tons. You know, you're a taller guy, right? So you got 6'4" headroom here, which is a little bit taller than most mid pros. We do 6'4" slide outs, which is a little bit taller than most mid pros. Our rake, our slope, and our ceiling kind of starts a little bit further up before we go down to the closet, so it does give you some more headroom. You know, we do the carpet-free floor. We don't do ducts in the floor. We bring them all up underneath the base of the cabinet. You know,
Are they ducts or the flexible?
Combination. So, and that's another thing we upgraded for this model year. We went from the foil duct
Yeah.
to the Thermaflex ducting. So, for example, this one is probably a Thermaflex duct that runs to that. So that'll be like a hose. I'm not sure on the one in the back. I think that's also a hose. The ones that run to our kitchen islands are typically a plenum. So a sheet metal plenum that runs through the floor and then comes up. So we use a combination of those. Primarily, though, we're using the Thermaflex, which on a couple of these pass-throughs, you'll be able to see that it's a much more vinyl-based wrapped.
Well, typically it's the plenum that the vinyl's coming off of anyway.
Yeah.
And so that's still huge because that's how it is in a house anyway. You've got your main, or rectangular, again, aluminum, whatever plenum that's typically insulated, and then off of that comes the tube, if you will. the flexible tube. And so it's the ones that are all flexible tubes. Sometimes they don't quite stay.
The thing that you have to be careful of is where you route them, because sometimes when you're getting a heat duct to the very back of the RV like this one has, it's got to pass by 2 holding tanks. So we've got a gray tank and a fresh tank. So one of the things our engineer had to design is a space for it to run beside it, obviously not below it where it's going to get crushed. So it takes a lot of thought on that,
Yeah.
you know, and you just got to make sure you plan it out right.
Yeah.
Put it in a spot where it's, and again, you don't want a path that's going to take a bunch of twists and turns, because we're going to lose people.
Well, exactly. I can't tell you how many RVs we've seen where it's hot in the front and cold as heck in the back, or vice versa, depending on where the main source starts from.
And I will tell you, good factories, good manufacturers do work closely with their vendors. So, for example, we work with Suburban. We use Airxcel, who does the Coleman air conditioners and the Suburban furnace. One of the things that we ask them to do, and is monthly and actually bi-weekly, come to our plant, randomly test the coach. They check the CFMs to each heat duct. They check the CFMs to the air conditioner, and they also count. So Airxcel's strong recommendation is that you have 6 vents for every air conditioner. They also help us place them properly to get the maximum airflow out of them. And they have a certain amount of ducts they want for the furnace, a certain amount of square inches they want for the cold air return. When you follow those things, you get much better performance out of those appliances.
So here's a great thing for you guys, right? I mean, how often do we as consumers, because Lisa and I are consumers just like you guys watching, get a moment to spend with someone like Mark that goes over things that we would never hear from a sales guy per se?
It's called vendor audits, right? Because, you know, one of the things that sometimes consumers get stuck in the middle with is like, hey, my furnace isn't working. Or let's go to gas electric fridges, which, you know, are kind of on their way out of the industry.
Yes.
For years, you know, I've had complaints, and I'm sure many people on the stream have had a gas electric fridge that didn't get cold enough in extremely hot weather. And then you go and you call Dominic or you call Norcold and say, hey, my fridge is getting cold. And then they come out and say this wasn't installed properly. And so they don't want to warranty it, and then your manufacturer is the one they're pointing fingers at.
Yeah.
So the way that we try to partner with our suppliers on it is like, hey, tell us how you want this installed, and we want you to come in every 2 weeks and check how we're installing it and sign a sheet that said, hey, I visited East to West Plant 502 today on January 15th, and I audited the installation of their refrigerator, and it passed my audit instructions. So that if we have a rash of warranty claims, we can be like, man, you've been coming to the factory, we're installing it properly. If we weren't, we needed you to tell us that. And that doesn't always work the way it should. It's something we focus on a great deal because, you know, here, like, if we install it properly, we expect it to work properly.
Correct. And if it doesn't, it's you know, there's a mechanical failure somehow.
Yes.
And that's where,
yes.
you know, they come in to fix it.
And with HVAC, I will tell you that in my years in the business, I've learned that, man, if you really kind of follow their guidelines and their recommendations, you can get a lot better performance, especially with air conditioning. Like if you work with the supplier on planning your ducting, you know, for example, this duct back here, you'll notice there's 2 vents behind it. This is what's called an H-track. So there's a run that comes off and dead ends. You know, we used to believe that just doing a big racetrack was the best way to do air conditioning. You just have this air doing loops around the coach. What we found is the air was doing loops around the coach and not coming out of the ceiling, right? So much of our air conditioning was just staying up there. What we know now, after, you know, a lot of work, is here having a dead end where the air hits, it comes down, right? So you got it coming off there, boom, come down. Now it's running up here, it's going to come down. You don't want your vents too close to the air conditioner because the air is just going to fly over that register. You know, and same thing in the bedroom. I've got that dead end, so the air is going to come down. Then going into the bed, you know what I mean? So some of that stuff, just how you plan out your ducting can make a world of difference with the same air conditioner.
And if you're not working it to death, that means it's going to last you longer as well.
Yes.
Cooler, longer life.
Yep. So anyway.
I've got a couple of comments from Lisa T. Going back to the toast tubbers, she said, yes, she knows that. She was referring to the Blackthorn and the Tendera.
Yes.
And then she said, what about a lighter toy hauler?
Oh, yes.
And then she goes on to say that she's been in contact with Al Robinson from Great Canadian RV.
Yes.
Yeah, she said maybe you know him.
We do know Al. He's a very, very valued partner for East to West RV. Actually may have been one of the first 5 or 6 east to west dealers. His relationship with Pete Legal, who's the CEO of Forest River, and Pete's daughter Lisa, who's my boss, is very deep.
And
Small
Zachary,
world.
Yeah. So we will have. I'm assuming Lisa's talking about the new Dakota toy hauler, which we just launched, and I do believe Al will have that at the Toronto show. I know we're planning to have our Canadian rep Lars Dudek should be at that show. Lars lives in Calgary and is at all the Canadian shows. But so the first 2 Dakota, the launch of Dakota is an ultra high end toy hauler. They are heavy. Okay, they're all 3 axle. It's going to be a very boutique brand, meaning we'll probably only build a couple hundred of them. When we build them, we build one a day. Like it's a very complex, very deluxe fifth wheel. I'm sure in the future we'll have some smaller floor plans that do get lighter. The floor plans right now are all over 17,000 pounds. They're 21,500 to 24,000 GVWRs. So they are very big, but we do know that over the next year or 2 we'll get into some smaller, lighter stuff. I don't know if we'll get below 15,000 pounds. But what we're focusing on now, if that thing is like super rigorous construction, it's heavy, but we're super confident that it's the best built toy hauler that Forest River is producing, and we think it's one of the best built toy haulers in the market overall.
she said the Dakota is not F350 SRW towable.
Well,
The hitch weight is most concerning.
Yeah, I think it's around a 3,700 pound hitch
Yeah.
weight on that.
yeah, you're getting quite max. Towing is such an enigma of an equation because
Yeah, it is.
everything's First of all, you think about empty, your truck empty and the RV empty.
Yep.
Well, then you put stuff in it because like just your truck. So everything that you put in your truck takes away from the towability of the truck.
Yep.
Your passenger, whatever else you shove in the back seat, right? That all takes away from whatever capacity that truck can handle. And at, what was it, 3,700 ton weight?
Yep.
Yeah, you're probably at a 450.
Yep.
Because that's a big boy.
It's a big fifth wheel.
It's a big
here,
boy.
we and not to dismiss the comment, like we will, as we grow that product line, get into some lighter weights. Maybe there'll be a sub-series of lighter stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, we're focusing on just the
First
big,
year, it just came out.
Yep.
You got to pick one and roll with
And
it.
that's one of the ones where, candidly, there's probably an extra 200 to 400 pounds of cabinet weight in that because of the raised panel cabinet doors, the dovetail construction on the drawers.
Dovetail in the drawers?
Dovetail,
Dovetail
love
the
it,
drawers and that,
love
so,
it.
And that's where as we kind of refine it, like there may be a simple move to flat panel doors that would make it lighter. We'll
Yep.
So don't
Just keep on watching.
Just watch as the product.
Keep on
evolves.
watching.
And then here, one other thing I will share with your viewers. The weight we put on the website and the brochure is the weight we establish when we build the first one. And if we make changes, we'll update the weight. But always look for the sticker
On the
RV,
unit.
Okay. I'm noticing myself. So for us, it's always here at the door. We've got our dry weight. And one thing I'll say that I like about Forest River, which East to West Division of Forest River, is I think we are the most honest company with our lengths. Okay, so the coach we're in right now says 37'7" as manufactured. Forest River believes in the noonday shadow rule, which is okay. You look at the RV from above, whatever sticks out the furthest, the pin or the cap is where you're going to measure to the rear wall. Okay, that's how we measure it. A lot of our competitors go from the pin to the rear wall. Okay.
So there might be another 6-8 inches or a foot.
If I measured this coach like other brands do, I would be 36'11". I'm 37'7" because of that. So, just know our lengths are pretty spot on. They're on here. And our weights, that's as it comes across our scales at the factory.
As this particular one finished.
Yeah, so
right.
This one has 2 air conditioners. This one has,
Right.
If it was a unit that got built with a generator and slide awnings and things like that,
it's going to be heavier.
It's going to have a different weight. So, but look at that at any RV you're seeing, because I'm seeing some floor plans out there that maybe when it was introduced by another manufacturer a few years ago weighed this much, but now it's several hundred pounds heavier and they haven't updated their brochure weight. So
yeah. Anything else?
We've got a few more comments. Let's see. Lisa T says slightly fluffy plus two 20-pound fur babies, if I can talk straight. And then she says absolutely door sticker is 3,885 pounds on our 2024 F350 diesel King Ranch we got. Zachary says the way the product managers, reps, service advisors interact help. Care is a big factor for him when buying.
Yep. So care is always an interesting thing in the RV industry. I'm sure everybody knows because there's factory care, right, after the fact, right? And so it's okay. You don't have to duck. It's okay. There's the interaction that you'll have with a manufacturer, but there's also the interaction that you have with the dealers that you buy your products from. And in the end, that's the starting point, is the dealers that you buy your products from. And as everyone well knows, it's tough getting RVs worked on these days, just because there was such a big push, if you will, during the pandemic. Everybody bought RVs. It's just the service guys, they just can't keep up.
There was 5 years worth of RVs sold in 36 months.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes.
And it's just not enough RV techs to deal with the flow of stuff. Because look, you take them down the road, something's going to break. It is what it is. Usually it's minor stuff, but stuff happens. Or if it's a manufacturer defect, like on a refrigerator, right? You're going to start with the dealer, and so with that relationship that you can have with the manufacturer as well is great.
Yeah, the dealer relationships almost equally as important. I mean, I think the manufacturer, here, our belief is if we build it as well as we can, the dealer will have to fix less stuff.
Right.
But here, choosing the dealer you buy from is a very important part of the buying process.
All right, well, let's get a couple more.
Yep, sounds
Thanks,
good.
guys.
Thank you.
All right, y'all.
There was one other comment here before we go, and it was, I believe, Motor Advisor said he likes his Lance.
Yeah, well, look, we all have our preferences.
Yeah, we do.
And this is why when we do an event like this, we try to cover the variety of stuff.
Yes.
Right, from all across the board.
Exactly.
From Lances all the way up to the spacecrafts.
Exactly.
Right, and everything in between. Because everybody has their price points and everybody has their favorites.
Yes.
I will say, right, like I said, when we first walked in, I'd never been in an east to west fifth wheel. Never have. Been in their travel trailers before. Mm-hmm. Wasn't necessarily 100% my favorite, but I like the look of these. Mm-hmm. See?